This is what I want.
Do you still get a thrill when you see me coming up the hill, honey, now do you?
Do I have to open it? Is this right? This is pretty right here.
Do you whisper my name just to bring a little comfort to you?
Is that real? Yeah. Oh my goodness, it looks so perfect. I didn't know it was
Are those real flowers?
Yes. Yeah, there's a plant in there.
They look like plastic.
They look like velvet.
If they last for 100 years, they're velvet or silk, you know.
Oh, okay. That is pretty. Thank you.
Or do you lie awake thinking I'm the biggest mistake you've ever made? Oh, the wayward wind is a restless wind. Oh my God. The restless wind that yearns to wander, and he was born the next of kin, the next of kin. To the wayward in a lonely shack far of a crack, he spent his younger days. Oh, I guess the sun of the upward bound made him a slave to his wandered ways. Oh, the wayward wind is a restless wind, a restless wind that yearns to wander, and he was born the next of kin, the next of kin to the wayward wind. Oh, I met him there in a border town. He thought we'd never part.
Hey, Dean, Frank fries are pretty good.
See, that was him, not me.
By the time I get to Phoenix, she'll be rising. She'll find the note I left hanging on her door. She'll laugh when she reaches the part that says I'm leaving, 'cause I've left that girl so many times before. By the time I make Albuquerque,
Concert.
This week.
Someday, when I'm feeling blue and the world is cold, I will feel a glow just thinking of you and the way you look tonight. so warm and your cheeks so soft. There is nothing for me but to love you, just the way you look tonight. With each word your tenderness grows, tearing my fears apart. And that laugh that wrinkles your nose, it touches my foolish heart. You're lovely, never change. Keep that breathless charm, won't you please arrange it? 'Cause I love you, just the way you look tonight. With each word your tenderness grows.
Man, I made a lot of stops all over the world, and in every port I own the heart of at least one lovely girl. I've a pretty senorita waiting for me down in old Mexico. If you're ever in Alaska, stop and see my cute little Eskimo. Oh, my sweet Fraulein down in Berlin town, make my heart start to yearn. And my China doll down in old Hong Kong, wait for my return. Pretty Polynesian baby over the sea, I remember the night when we walked in the sands of Waikiki, and I held you oh so tight. Oh, my sweet Fraulein down in Berlin town, make my heart start to yearn. And my China doll down in old Hong Kong, wait for my return. Pretty Polynesian baby over the sea, I remember the night when we walked in the sand of Waikiki, and I held you oh so tight. Oh, I'm a traveling man.
Such a feeling's coming over me. There is wonder in most everything I see. Not a cloud in the sky, got the sun in my eyes, and I won't be surprised if it's a dream. Everything I want the world to be is now coming true, especially for me. And the reason is clear, it's because you are here. You're the nearest thing to heaven that I see. I'm on the top of the world, looking down on creation, and the only explanation I can find is the love that I found ever since you've been around. Your love's put me at the top of the world. Something in the wind has learned my name, and it's telling me that things are not the same. In the leaves on the trees and the touch of the breeze, there's a pleasant sense of happiness for me. There is only one wish on my mind. When this day
Margaritaville, I believe. Looks like we're going to Margaritaville, folks.
Dory should be here.
I'll try.
Okay.
I'm ready for that.
Thing that I got. I know. 75 types of chili.
Living on sponge cake, watching the sun bake. All of those tourists covered with oil, strumming my six string on my front porch swing. Smell of the shrimp, they're big.
Yeah. I'm praying over here. That's why I'm praying.
Oh, I thought you were going to sing a duet with her.
You won't let me.
Oh, gee, I don't know why.
Hey, straighten up over there.
Number 1. I don't know, I gave it to you.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Maybe it's somewhere over the
I don't think so.
Boom, 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 boom.
That's a new one for Georgia.
We're just breaking out.
You don't think it's number 1? Okay.
That's number 9.
Sorry about that.
Scared us.
He needs another light.
I think she's singing Led Zeppelin.
That's it.
You know, I've been trying new things.
Have you been practicing our duet?
When I said I needed you, you said you would always stay. It wasn't me who changed for you, and now you've gone away. Don't you see that now you're gone, and I'm left here on my own, that I have to follow you and beg you to come home. You don't have to say you love me just because it's hard. You don't have to stay forever, I will understand. Believe me, but believe me, I'll never tie you down.
Yeah, usually I don't get those wrong.
Yeah. Well, this is kind of about the song. I'll see when you sing it here.
What is it? Everybody gets.
It was no accident, me finding you. Someone had a hand in it long before we ever knew. Now I just can't believe you're in as I look at you tonight. I tip my hand to the keeper of the stars. He sure knew what he was doing when he joined these two hearts. I hold everything when I hold you in my arms. I've got all I'll ever need, thanks to the keeper of the stars.
She's single and, you know, she's a retired friend, but her house is paid for $9 and all that stuff.
Do you have the music?
Someday, some way, you'll realize that you've been blind. Yes, darling, you're gonna need me again. It's just a matter of time. Go on, go on, until you reach the end of the line. But I know you'll pass my way again. It's just a matter of time. After I gave you everything I had, you laughed and called me a clown.
What's he got for us this time? Ooh, looks like some music from the King.
Nice job, that was good stuff.
Done by 21st century Frank Sinatra.
Ooh, the Frank Sinatra version of...
No, Michael Blaze.
Oh, Michael
arrangement.
Bublé.
Yeah. I love everything Blue Blade.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole heart too, for I
Gentlemen, it's time for the squirrel song. Dino's gonna get a little squirrely on us here.
Nothing new.
I'll get in front of that camera again. Now fixing. I'll show them something that camera's never seen before.
Very loud, isn't it?
It's probably too tiny to get a close-up on.
Maybe so, maybe not. Okay, this is all your fault. Well, when I was a kid, I'd take a trip every summer down to Mississippi to visit my granny in her antebellum world. I'd run barefooted all day long, climb a tree for his song. One day I happened to catch myself a squirrel. Well, I stuffed it down in an old shoebox and I punched a couple of holes in the top. When the time came, I snuck him into church. I was sitting way back in the very last pew, showing him to my good buddy Hugh, when that squirrel got loose and went totally berserk. Well, what happened next is hard to tell. Some thought it was heaven, others thought it was hell. But the fact that something was among us was plain to see. As the choir sang, I surrender all. The squirrel ran out Harv Newman's coverall, and Harv lifted his feet and said, something's got a hold on me. The day the squirrel went berserk in the first self-righteous church in that sleepy little town of Pascagoula. It was a fight for survival that broke out in revival. They were jumping, and shouting, hallelujah! Well, Harv hit the aisles, dancing and screaming. Some thought he had religion, others thought he had a demon. And Harv thought he had a weed eater loose in the fruit of his womb. He fell to his knees to plead and beg, and the squirrel ran out of his britches like unobserved to the other side of the room. All the way down to the amen pew where sat Sister Bertha Better Than You, who'd been watching all the commotion with sadistic glee. Why, shoot, you should have seen the look in her eyes when that squirrel jumped her garters and crossed her thigh. She jumped to her feet and said, Lord, have mercy on me! As the squirrel made laughs inside her dress, she began to cry and then to confess to the sins that would make a sailor blush with shame. She told of gossip and church dissension. Then the thing that got the most attention was when she talked about her love life, and then she started naming the day the squirrel went to church in the first self-righteous church in that sleepy little town of Pascagoula. It was a fight for survival that broke out in revival. They were jumping and shouting, hallelujah! Well, 7 deacons and the pastor got saved, and $25,000 got raised, and 50 volunteered for missions in the Congo on the spot. And even without an invitation, there were at least 500 rededications, and we all got rebaptized, whether we needed it or not. Now you've heard the Bible story, I guess, how he parted the waters for Moses to pass. All the miracles God has wrought in this old world. But the one thing I'll remember to my dying day is how he put the church back on the narrow way with a half-crazed Mississippi squirrel. The day the squirrel went berserk in First Self-Righteous Church in that sleepy little town of Pascagoula. It was a fight for survival that broke out in revival. They were jumping and shouting, hallelujah! The day the squirrel went berserk in the First Self-Righteous Church in that sleepy little town of Pascagoula. It was a fight for survival that broke out in revival. They were jumping and shouting, hallelujah! The day the squirrel went berserk in the First Self-Righteous Church in that sleepy little town of Pascagoula. It was a fight for survival that broke out in revival. They were stamping in the pew shouting, hallelujah!
I got words.